At the start of the year, the family who originally built our 1980s Greek home stumbled across our channel on YouTube and reached out to us.
Last week, we took a deep dive into how the house was built and heard an incredible story about the age-old power struggle between the sexes. This week, we're looking at the challenges of moving to a foreign country in the 1980s and discovering how a simple haircut led to an unexpected new pet. Let's jump in.
When we arrived there, the waiting list for a telephone was 7 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
we don't have a telephone there.
No.
Well, there was no mobiles. You see, they didn't exist when we went there.
But did you have to, or did you manage to get in through the back door somehow?
We did, but we had to. If we had to phone home, we had to go into town to Otte. Do you know Otte?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big telephone exchange in St Mark's Square, and we used to have to go in there, go into a booth, pick up the phone, and then the operator would say, "What number do you want?" We had to dial it, and there was like a meter on the wall, and she'd put you through, and then when you'd finished, you had to go and pay at the counter.
Yeah, I don't think things are much, because that's still the best place to get like a 5G signal on the island as well. So if you're struggling, because we upload videos when we're over there, and if you're struggling with signal like we do in the village, sometimes if you head anywhere near the town square, the signal goes right up, and you can get a better chance of uploading your video. So things are different, kind of still the same.
The same but different.
It's incredible how much life can change in just a few decades. While supermarkets have made everything more convenient, there's still something really special about shopping at small independent stores when we get the chance.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, there wasn't any supermarkets or anything like that when we moved there.
Oh no!
No, just there was
little corner shops.
Yeah, or then a butcher's, a baker's, a greengrocer's. It was just like going back, 50 years, which was lovely. Really, it just
everything
made you.
You live like that, isn't it? Like you go greengrocers, such nice fresh produce.
Living in a village, we get to witness all kinds of little quirks, like the vans that cruise past our house, announcing their daily goods over loudspeakers.
Market, there is still a lorry that comes around with birds in the back, because I've seen Dionysus go and choose his chickens when I've been cutting the grass, and it's it takes your breath away a little bit, because you're like, oh, that's quite brutal. But it's also the way of life, isn't it? That's, before it arrives in your nice supermarket packet, that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Giving back is really important to us. I've loved volunteering with Zante Strays, and you can find links to other charities we support in all of our video descriptions. It was heartwarming to learn that the family who built our villa were also passionate about animal welfare.
I was involved in involved in the animal welfare. It was called the Zakynthos Animal Welfare.
Okay.
And they sent me to England, and I had always loved horses. I'd had horses. We had horses in Zakynthos. We had about 5 at one time. And they sent me to train in England in the winter to trim the hooves and do their teeth. So, and then I used to travel around the islands doing donkeys' teeth and for this charity.
Venture.
Yeah. So, we got we had some lovely times. They sent us all over the place, Cyprus. We did it for free. They paid for our fares, but then the time was free.
Look after them.
Our neighbours have now had 3 different British families living next door, and they've been nothing but kind and helpful. We wanted to share a quick story about how they helped us out before they'd even met us.
I think they did know, because they were really good. There was no...
and they helped tidy up the garden.
There was no water going to the property before we arrived for the very first time, and Dennis had really put himself out to speak to the water authorities and a plumber locally, I think, and he'd got all the water reconnected for us. So when we arrived, we actually had running water, which obviously you need out there in that heat in August.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
The family used to drive an open-top Jeep around the island, a beautiful way to explore. But as you can imagine, it also made it pretty easy for unexpected passengers to hop in.
And they come home one night and they found that they'd been given a dog. The dog was still in the back of the Jeep. Somebody had given them a dog.
Yeah, I mean, the dog situation obviously is still quite like that over there. I've got involved with the Zante strays rescue a couple of times, and there's obviously dogs out there that still need lots of help. But yeah, it's lovely. Like you said, you brought your dogs back, and
Yeah.
one day we might have a Greek dog.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on the receiving end of a surprise gift like that? Let us know in the comments below.
Now let's hear another fun story. This one involves a haircut, a bottle of ouzo, and a couple of furry little surprises.
There was a chap who used to cut hair. I don't know if he's a proper barber or not. A friend went there, and that was when it was the old money then. I don't know how many drachmas he charged him, but it was something, like worked out about 50p for the haircut. And during that time, he was given 3 glasses of ouzo, and when he left, he gave him 2 kittens.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Oh dear.
Greece is, of course, an extremely popular summer destination, and for good reason. But often, the most magical moments happen outside of the peak tourist season.
What was your favourite season? I mean, it gets really hot in the summer, doesn't it? But we haven't spent lots of time in the spring and autumn, but they seem like really nice times on the island.
Yeah, May, June, and September.
Yeah.
That's when it's the nicest.
Yeah.
Or even before season, March, April.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, lovely.
It's the best time.
Lovely times, yeah. But even the winters never really got very cold. I mean, it did used to rain quite a lot in the winter. But
it would rain for 2 hours, and then the sun would come out, lovely. Then it would rain, and then like that. But of course, it made things grow.
One of those pictures that you sent with the, it looked like you grew lots of vegetables. It looked like an allotment in one of those photos.
Yeah.
Grow everything.
Yeah, and Dad had a greenhouse at the back.
Yeah, I saw the greenhouse. Yeah.
So you must have been pretty self-sufficient when you were there. You must have.
Yeah.
Because things grow year round as well, don't they? They don't really have. Although it's winter, things still grow through the winter because it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't get that cold, does it?
No, the only thing that Bill couldn't. He tried everything and he grew everything, but the only thing he couldn't do was runner beans.
Yeah.
They wouldn't grow they
really
wouldn't.
Strange. They used to get the leaves, but no beans. Really odd, wasn't it? Yeah, obviously something missing in the soil.
Yeah.
But all the fruit trees and that, they were all planted by Bill and Dora.
Wow.
So all the lemons and oranges that you're getting are what they planted.
That big bottle brush. We've got all the family. We've got quite a big family and friends, and that used to come out. And of course, they're all watching your videos, and that big bottle brush that was by the carport. That thing with the red things. That was just a twig when they put it in.
Massive.
I have never in this country or ever seen one that big. They're difficult to grow, to get going.
Even when we try our best to speak the language, things can sometimes get hilariously lost in translation. Here's a story about a classic DIY misunderstanding that still makes us laugh.
I don't know whether they still do it, but when we were out there, you couldn't buy anything by the meter. Everything was sold by the kilo. So olive oil sold by the kilo, wine sold by the kilo. If you bought rope, you said, I want 14 meters, they would measure 14 meters and then weigh it. and then we used to go to a little shop down the end of the road. We used to call it the bucket shop because it used to have buckets everywhere. And we wanted some nails. So we looked up, this is the first year we're there, and we didn't speak any Greek. And we looked up and says to the owner, have you got a kilo of nails? Frowned. And kept saying in Greek, 1 kilo, yeah, in there, and a kilo, yeah, there, of nails. Anyway, we eventually told somebody, and she was asking for fingernails. A kilo of fingernails.
At least you were trying. At least you were trying.
Oh dear.
God, must have thought I was bonkers.
Like many popular destinations, Zakynthos has changed a lot over the years, including the need for a bigger airport to welcome all of the visitors.
But when we first went there, there was the airport wasn't where it was now. There was a building that's still there the other side, and you got off the airplane and took your bag off the car. And then they upgraded it, and then we had one conveyor belt, and that half of it was outside and half of it was inside. So they unloaded it outside in the rain, and then it come through 2 little doors, and then you picked it off. It was soaking wet, you know.
When we first went there, we had to drop down in Italy because the runway wasn't long enough, was it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to drop down in Italy.
As you've probably guessed by now, we're completely in love with Zante. We hope these stories from the past have brought a smile to your face. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and share. We'll leave you with a few nostalgic photos of what the island used to look like, and we can't wait to see you again next time. Bye for now. On New Year's Day 2025, the most incredible thing happened.
The power of social media.
We received an email from somebody really important, and the email was titled, "My granddad built your villa."
I said, I can't believe this. He said, what? I said, there's a house here in Greece being renovated called Villa Sweet William. And we clicked on it. Wow, we really cried. We went to Zakynthos, and you know, I felt on top of the world.
It's the whole package, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
It is, yeah, it's lovely. It's a really happy place.
My dad, when he went out, he was 70.
He was 70.
But you know, that gave my dad another 10 years being out there. He drove around in that little Jeep. He had a Suzuki Jeep as well. And they drove around there with a top, and they had the dog in the back. And
Time of their lives.
so they're having the time of their lives, and they used to go out and have a meal and have a drink.